Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Badger. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my wish list for COD 2024, whether that's Black Ops 6, whether that's Gulf War, whatever it's called. This is my wish list for it. But if you guys do enjoy today's video, or if you find yourself coming back to the channel a lot and you're not subscribed, why not hit the subscribe button? You're already coming back. Anyways, let's get right into the video. First up, I can't believe that this is an actual thing I need to preface. This is my opinion. An even crazier thing that I have to put in this video, 2024 needs to have a round base. It needs to have round base. Objective modes do not sit well with a lot of the community, and the fact that Modern Warfare 3 is not going to have any round based is astounding to me. So COD 2024 needs to have at least 2 round based maps on launch. That is my wish list. Again, just my opinion. It needs to have at least 2 maps on launch. The next point up on my wish list is that it needs to find a good point of difficulty. Cold War and BO4 were way too easy. Black Ops 3 was relatively easy. BO2 was actually pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, that's not an easy game, and neither is Black Ops 1. They need to find a mix, basically a middle ground of BO2 and BO3. I feel like would be absolutely perfect, but starting with basically your max health was not a good idea for them in BO4. Cold War with all the upgrades is just way too OP, and then also just the gameplay of Cold War and BO4 made it super easy. You have Ring of Fire, you have Stone Cold Stronghold, you can just sit in corner with a Helion, you can sit in corner with a ray gun, like stuff like that just made the game a little too easy for my liking. BO3 at least had a relatively hard maps within like Shangri-La that most people still haven't even round 100 to this day without using like, you know, power vacuum and stuff. Which leads me to my next point on my wish list. Bring Gobblegums back. Bring some sort of thing like Gobblegums back. You're not forced to use Gobblegums. You're not forced to use elixirs. Elixirs were a lot more balanced than what Gobblegums were, but I feel like the gameplay with Gobblegums just flowed better. The Gobblegum machine was a great addition versus just having it on your D-pad. I think the randomness of Gobblegums is a lot better. It doesn't even have to be Gobblegums, just something to like change up gameplay. The only thing I can really think of that does that in Cold War is the Rampage Inducer, but that's genuinely it. By adding in even just the option to run Gobblegums, because again, it's not forcing you to, you know, use Gobblegums just because they're there. With Cold War, you didn't even have an opportunity to really change up your gameplay, and I think that's genuinely what killed it. Even with BO4 to an extent, you had classics, you had megas, you had, you know, the OP ones that got added in later in the cycle. But even with BO4, most of the time you didn't even use those megas. So they need to find a middle ground. Once again, that's like a big recurring thing I'm noticing with this. They just need to find a middle ground. If they find a middle ground, then they're fine. That point was a little all over the place, but just Gobblegums, elixirs, find a middle ground of those and bring them back in some sort of way just to have more gameplay options. And for the next point on the wish list, I would like to see more side modes. I mean, you had Cranked in Cold War. Cranked was a ton of fun. Grief should just make a return. I still don't know why it hasn't. Even give us maybe some of those old game modes that never made it into transit. You know, the meat, the volleyball type one they had, and I don't remember what the other ones are, but just even some of those, bring them back in some sort of way. Even Outbreak. Outbreak is a great game. I'm not gonna, like, I know I bash on OBJs a lot. Outbreak is a great side game mode. The only issue I have with Outbreak is that it became the focus of zombies instead of round based, and you know, having to run around the map and complete objectives is not really a fun gaming experience for zombies, but it's still not a bad mode once they do some tweaks to it. But side modes genuinely add so much to a game, and the fact that we rarely get them in zombies is kind of concerning, to be honest, because I mean, we had what, Jingle Hell I think it was called in Cold War, and then we had Cranked, and that's actually, I think that's literally it for side modes. And in BO4 you had Gauntlet, you had Rush, you had casual, normal, hardcore, realistic, like you had so many options. Even BO3, we had a ton of like limited time events. So yeah, they need to add more side content into the game. For my next option on the wish list, they need to get involved with YouTubers. I'm not saying myself, I'm not saying, you know, like I you know, contact me about this and this and that. I'm saying they need to get in contact with YouTubers from everywhere. They need to have a steady way of actually getting people's opinions. That's not Reddit, that's not Twitter, that's not Instagram. They need to find a way that they can reach more people and get more opinions and actually work with YouTubers. Look at CSGO. They work with YouTubers all the time, and their content is still going to this day after like 12 years. And there's even other games that are smaller than COD that actually get in contact with YouTubers and they, you know, give them skins, they give them all sorts of things. And I guess COD is kind of doing that with like the next Mercs Tim the Tatman bundle, and then we saw how that went. But I'm saying more of they need to get more consistent way of getting information. You know, maybe that's talking to like Lex, Noah, Dalek, all the big YouTubers, but also they need to get different sides of the community. They need to get the high round side of the community. They need to get the more casual side of the community, which is what I would put most of the other YouTubers under. But then they also need to get in the speedrunning side of the community. They need to get literally every side of the community that they can, which is why I don't get why they have not already done this like earlier. It's such a simple fix by just talking to people. You are a ginormous company. You have a lot of different people. I'm sure there's more than 3 ways that they could get in contact with people and get more opinions. My next wish list item is I want them to stop nerfing stuff. It's a PvE mode. It makes no... Get my dog, shut up. But yeah, they need to stop nerfing weapons and stuff in a PvE mode. It makes genuinely no sense and honestly just hinders gameplay. Like obviously, yes, there needs to be some sort of balance, but like what they did with the MOG 12 in BO4, they don't do that stuff again. Like that was horrible. Alrighty, but that is gonna do it for my wish list today. If you guys have any like other ones that you want to see, leave them in the comments because I am curious to see what you guys would like to see for COD 2024. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. Hit that sub button, leave a comment, leave a like. Peace.
Bonnie and Clyde down in California, fall in love on the run, trying to make it to Cabo. Romeo with a